So what are we going to do today? Today I think we are going to learn how to print onto fabric, and we're going to have a template in the description of the video so you could actually get the template and how to make this vintage lithograph doll. A dear friend of mine gave me the original doll years ago, and I took her apart and photocopied the front and the back and the dress. And I'm going to show you how to make it into a small paper doll or into a fabric stuffed doll. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is iron our muslin onto our freezer paper. So I cut a piece of freezer paper, and it's 8.5 by 11, and then my muslin. And so all I'm going to do is iron the fabric onto the shiny side. And you want to use, I really found, I did some on canvas and it really soaked the ink up and it turned really yellow. So the muslin really does work the best, a really nice tight weave cotton fabric. And this is going to be enough just to hold it to feed through your printer. And that's all we're really doing with this, because after we're done, we're just going to peel that piece of freezer paper right off. So let's go print this guy up. Okay, so I printed my pieces off. This is the back of the doll. This is the front of the doll, and here is her dress. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take the muslin off of the freezer paper and heat set the ink on there. See how easy this just comes off of here. And you can actually reuse your freezer paper again and add more fabric to it. Okay, we're done ironing these little guys. Now let's get them cut out and sewn together. Okay, so now I'm going to cut my pieces out, and I'm going to cut maybe about 1/4 inch from the actual edges. And if you can see on the template, there is a little extra already there, but I still cut out a little extra, so when you sew it, you have some room there. So after you have all your pieces cut out, you have 2 different ways you could do this. If you want her to have a front and a back, then you're going to take your 2 pieces of fabric, your front and your back, and you're going to line them up together very carefully. And then you can either do a back stitch and hand stitch around the whole thing, and then leave a little opening here so you can turn it inside out and stuff it. Otherwise, you can do it on the machine too, you just have to be really careful. Another way I did it with this doll is I just used a cute retro fabric on the back, and I didn't have to line her up. I just sewed all the way around her and made a slit in the center to make it easier to turn inside out, and then I stuffed her. And then I just closed up the slit. So your next part is to get her sewn and turned inside out and stuffed, and then we'll get to the dress. So after you have your doll sewn and stuffed, we're gonna work on her dress. So here's the piece I printed out, and I cut just a little bigger also. And then right here where it says slit back seam, you're going to slit the back seam. And then cut out the hole where the neck goes, and you can make that just a little bigger too. And then I'm just going to turn all the edges under just about 1/4 inch or whatever I have here. And I'm going to hem these down and do a running stitch. So here's the dress inside out, and I sewed the 2 side seams, and then I folded under the hems and did a quick running stitch across there and across the top. You could also do the sleeves if you want. And then afterward, just turn it inside out, and you can press it. And then what I would do is put it on my doll. And then you're gonna tack stitch the back shut, or sew a button or something over this to keep her dress on her. And there you go. And let me show you a couple other projects we can do now with the smaller version of her. Okay, here's some little mini versions, and I made her into little paper dolls, which I think is so cute. And actually, you could add a little heart and give them away for Valentine's. And so here's the templates, and again, they're linked at the bottom of the description, and you can print them off onto cardstock or paper. If you want the front and back, then you just need to line them up and glue them together. Otherwise, you could just use the front and cut out her cute little dress, slit it open, and just put it over her, and then you have this cute little girl. So this one, I just put a layer of polyester batting in between the front and the back, ironed it together, and used a little fabric glue inside. And she's a little more substantial than a paper doll, but then you could put a cute dress on her or a heart on her too. And this one, I actually did just a little stuffing in her and just a white back. But whatever you do, have fun, make lots of dolls.